What is going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great Monday. For me, it's Monday evening. It depends on where you're at. Could be Monday morning, Monday night. Today, we're going to be talking with Dark Crystal Finance. So I got Dex here. I'm going to bring him up shortly, and we're gonna talk about this project. It's a new project that for me, and I'm really interested in learning about it. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring up our guest of honor for today. It is Dex. What's going on, buddy?
Not a lot. We just kind of had some new stuff we just announced a couple of days ago, so we can probably talk over that a little bit with some stuff that's coming up.
Cool. Yeah. This project, I'm new to this project, so I'd like to know all about it.
So our goal is to be a more sustainable tomb fork. We have nodes which help us to adapt supply and kind of dynamically manage inflation issues. And kind of the way that we've been going about using these nodes is to form long-term partnerships, like as a way to collaborate. And so over time, we've kind of grown to expand into one of the we actually have the largest selection of native Chronos tokens available within nodes available on chain.
Cool.
And those are growing all the time. We actually have a list now that we have it was kind of doing it on the fly, and now all of a sudden we have a backlog. So like it's kind of cool when we're at that point. But I come from where you have to work together because it's your little like kind of thing. And during the bear market, there's been a lot of division in the market. And, I think it's kind of a good strategy to try to bring people together that way, and then we have mutual interests. We offer our nodes kind of as a service, deflationary influence on their tokens, and also our nodes are permanent. They don't have any taxes, so that's kind of cool. No maintenance things to bring them back online. We recommend people compound them like either every other day, a week, and they'll keep rolling perpetually. They are permanent for the initial, so like whatever tokens you put in, would pay out a daily API, and that caps out at 500% ROI, and that won't be reached for a few months on each node. What we have in the boardroom, as well as because I'm also on the team, I kind of coordinate with this. Each of the collabs, we bolster a maintenance rate, kind of. We use our rewards to try to make sure that we can offer a base level of upkeep, like creation of nodes into the network, so that it's not just community people that are buying in and then putting their stuff in and paying it out to the other people. We're making sure that we're utilizing our tomb system to help to make sure that's still going. And also, we ultimately plan to get into gamification because of some of the ideas I've had with our NFTs. They've been delayed a little longer than we were thinking. So we might even have some other interesting stuff coming out for some bit more basic games, like maybe some card games, table games, something like that. We were just in talks about that. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on, man. We're a tomb fork in the sense that we are creating a that is pegged to Crow, but it's not your typical tomb because we have ways to deflate. We have deflationary vaults made by burn tokens and buyback tokens for our protocol. We have a burn raffle. We just partnered with Chronos Casino, and I was able to negotiate so that we, in coordination with our model of sustainability, they're willing to take 10% off the house profits that from what we get split. That'll be directly burned. So you can gamble a little less, with a little less guilt because you're technically helping to defend the peg a little,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So on your website, can we kind of walk through which each one of these tabs are? Like, what is we can start off with crystal mines.
Sure. So the crystal mines are just our reward pools. They're the APR farms. So they all pay out in mine. There's 6 of them, I think. Is it 6 or 5? And so we chose, because we're pegged to Crow. Our main line of liquidity is the Dark Crystal W Crow LP. The UIs like to float a little bit, and then it's just because there's a lag in our UI. We are currently doing an overhaul to try to get that fixed better. But my favorite, I personally really like the Dark Crystal Mine LP, just because it allows me to use my farming rewards to buy back Dark Crystal, like when we're under peg and stuff. We wanted to make sure that we to include a couple different stable coin LPs. So we went with MUSD for the mine stable LP and USDC with Dark Crystal. Those are a little bit less full as the one that's with Crow, but and then we with all of these mines or with all of these nodes, there's also other lines of liquidity. Those are more forcibly locked, kind of. So that's been a good.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what about the dark room here?
The dark room. So the APR is nerfed right now because we've been below peg for a little bit. During the debt phase.
Oh, your mic's kind of cutting out just a little bit.
Oh, I was covering it up again, I think. So it's currently in a debt phase. So the APR is nerfed. It's usually around 5 or 6. But 65% of the emissions during the debt phase go toward the treasury to help pay back bond debt, which is kind of cool. But otherwise, it does pay out every 2 epochs, and our epochs are only 6 hours, so it's kind of nice. You get every 12 hours, you get some tokens to do something with. So if you want to go gamble every 12 hours, you gotta hook up right there, Or if you want to, once we get more stuff added, you'll see what else you can do with it.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
How long has Dark Crystal Finance been around?
So we launched the very beginning of June. It was right before that whole the lumberjack rug. They launched like a day after we did.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. We've ended up really blessed with a great community of folks. A lot of loyal holders that are educated because they come from. Some of them came from the grape finance, which is what we're based on, or we're forked upon. We're building on that. So we've got a lot of degens that kind of know their way around the tomb of what's going on. So we're very big on educating people. We have infographics that we circulate regularly. I should have sent those to you ahead of time now that I'm saying that.
No, it's all good.
I'm very, like I said before we started, my boss told me I actually have to take off time from work because I'm always constantly responding to everybody. Like if anybody needs help, I try to make sure there's education going on because each one of these collabs we do, you have to teach them about a whole new community and a whole new project. So I don't want to make sure to do that justice.
Yeah. I can just imagine how busy you are. How many people are part of this Dark Crystal Finance team?
So I have me and Kuka, who used to be from Chronos Nodes, Chronodes or whatever. I think he's doing stuff with Chronoballs too, also now.
Yeah, I just had an AMA and had Chronos Balls on. They were talking about Kuka.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He was working with me. They're more in a position to pay him better, I think, than we are, because I'm not very good at delegating. So he really has been really instrumental for helping me to organize and to keep my stuff straight and to work with. All right, he's really good.
Yeah, not very good at delegating. Like you like to get it all done, do it yourself.
Yeah, and make sure it's
Right?
all done. And then like, because I feel like
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss points, and then like I'm not used to having help. So then when we hired him on, I didn't know what to tell him to do.
You're like, just kick back, man. I got this. But
Exactly.
I
He's
feel
like, "What do
you.
you
I
want
feel
me to
you.
do?" And I was like, could you check Twitter? I don't know.
That's cool. So
But
how did you
no.
guys? How did you come up with Dark Crystal? Well, how did this all come up? How did you become a part of this?
So we're not the project devs. We're hired on.
Okay.
There was this launch, and I'm somewhat of a degen, so I kind of watch Tomb Forks, and I'm one of those people that, well, I'll throw $100 in and see if I can get $1,000.
Yeah.
Um, and so that was kind of what I was planning on doing. But then as I started researching and learning more about this, I was like, holy shit, this completely, sorry, I swore.
No, you're
Um,
good, man.
this completely solves solves the problems of both of those types of projects. Like, the only thing a tomb has a problem with is it has so many tokens, you don't have anywhere to put them. Well, if you could lock them up somewhere, fuck, it works.
Yeah.
And so I
And
started looking at that, and then as I was communicating with the dev and seeing where he was, like he was overwhelmed. He's more of a back end, but he was trying to do the front end. English is not their first language, and we have team
mhm.
members from Asia, from Ukraine. There's like three core devs, my boss and then two others. We hired an artist too, but so there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. So you just jumped in to help out, and you're like, oh, you're overwhelmed. Let me take on all that.
Well, no, I pointed out that he was overwhelmed and that he should hire someone such as
Yeah.
myself. And then
Mhm.
he told me to throw him a number and said, "You're hired." And I was like, "What?" And he's been
Yeah.
paying me every week, man. So that was what it was.
That's awesome, man. It's
It made
crazy
me like,
how this space works like that. It's a lot of opportunities everywhere.
well, yeah, and as the market continues to turn around, people think that this week we might see some pullback, but you never know. Um, but as we see stuff turn around, everything's going to grow. So I'm sure
Mhm.
it's not going to be, getting paid as much as I am now to go higher, if as we can afford it.
Yeah, I think it's great that projects start off like you said. Was it June or July? You said that Dark Finance
June.
or Dark Crystal. So June in the bear market that you build a great foundation, and then once this bull market happens,
Exactly.
hopefully it
Like
looks good.
if you watch on portions of our chart, you can see where the whales enter and then try to fuck with stuff. And then we have this core group of people that have seen it. Like we were here when it was 50 cents and nobody thought we were going to live.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
And so like all of a sudden we're back up to where we're at, and it's like this ain't nothing. Like, give it 3 days, somebody will come in.
So as far as the devs go, are they doxed at all, or can we see who they
Um,
are on here? Or are there any plans in the future for that?
there's plans in the future to consider it, just because I feel like, for example, we plan to whitelist on MMF.
Hmm.
There's a couple other places that want us to whitelist also, or want us to do that to whitelist also. It's more of there's a couple of members of the team that aren't comfortable with doing it yet. I
Yeah.
continue to try to work on that, but I think we'll have to see as it goes. I
Yeah.
don't know. Just like,
Yeah.
depending on what part of the world you're from, you never know what safety concerns there are for people to know who you are. It's
True.
not everybody lives in the U.S. or wherever they feel like it's safe to do that.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has their own reasons for doxing. I mean, for not doxing, and totally understandable. Totally understandable. So what about I think we touched on the nodes already, right? Is that what
Yeah,
you
I kind of covered it a bit in the beginning. I didn't go into too much detail. There are different LPs, so if you want to buy them, click on the buy button. We're getting a zapper from one of our newer collab partners. They wrote it for us.
Oh,
It's just
cool.
not implemented yet. But some of the LPs are from MMF. For example, the Thunder LP, that's on HopSwap because that's where most of their liquidity is on. I wanted to respect that.
Yeah.
And then we just added the Annex node. We actually got whitelisted before that with them, which is pretty awesome. We just needed that node so we can start building up a liquidity pool.
Nice. Now, let's see. You also have a bonds tab here.
Yep, and it's just your standard bond layout. There is a bonus, I believe, above the 1.1.
I like the color scheme of your guys' website too. It's pretty cool.
Well, and what happened with that was we were going to have we did until GAR got put on there. We had the first deflationary vaults built by the Magic finance team on Chronos, and they have a great reputation on other chains for what their vaults do. They use their performance fees similar to how, like, if you use the Beefy vault at any point, instead of the performance fees going to the Beefy token or anything else, 50% of the fees go to burn tokens.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. And we got it says tastes like crypto in the chat. Says go NX.
Yeah, they've been pretty helpful. Just I hadn't really had much exposure to them until we got involved with Scrub Money. I liked what they were doing with everything, how far that they've come and turned around so much stuff, and they insisted that the node we were making with them needed to be hosted on that LP, and so we did.
Yeah.
And then we've been working with them a little bit closer now too. So I think it's putting us in a good position for future ideas.
Yeah, it's getting it all ready. And if you're in the chat and you're interested, there are links in the description to their Twitter, to their website. Go check it out. Do you guys have a Discord? Was there a Discord link on here or anything?
Yeah, there should be. I know that Discord makes those things expire occasionally.
Oh, okay.
If it's not right, I can send you a new one.
Yeah, I think this was right. I think I jumped on it earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good to go. So there's links to their Discord in there. Jump in there, say what's up.
We actually right now we have a raffle live right now. That's one of the other tabs. We just went live with it. We've had some of our community that was concerned. We rescaled a few of the collab nodes because, like, when we initially made them, they're really small.
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure that we wanted to size them to a certain metric so that they each lock up at least 50 of their tokens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when we rescaled it, it hurt the APR. And so we're planning on using all contributions to the raffle for that. We're going to try to use to boost the APR in the single stake nodes. And we're also going to be using some of our rewards to bolster that until people are happy again.
Nice. You guys have really built a lot in just a couple months.
Yeah, like that's all I keep telling people, and they're like, "Oh, what about this?" And then now we have these little these other ones coming, like Fairy Finance, and what's the other one? Nightlife, and they're great forks too. And I was like, "Huh."
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's convenient.
Yeah, that's a lot coming in the future, and just for being such a, just a couple months, with 2-3 months old, there's a lot built already. A lot going on.
And we have more partners coming. One of the ones we host on Fridays, we do a space with one of our oldest collab partners, the Lab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have a space with Gooding. He wanted to start it. He wanted to make sure to include like this uplifting session, which I wasn't sure what to expect, but it's actually a lot of fun. He just like picks people, has them say some stuff about what they've been up to lately, and then like figures out ways to be aggressively complimentary.
Hey, that's cool. Yeah, and that's a Twitter space you guys do on Fridays?
Yeah. We have to adjust the time because we're starting to conflict with what is it? Welcome to the Jungle. Alpha's on every day, so
yeah.
We're figuring we should probably make more on that.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to jump in there and say what's up, check it out.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So also on here, you have a raffle. This is something different than the one you were talking about?
No, this is the one I was talking about. Usually we burn all of the contributions to the raffle.
Oh, okay.
You can just cost one dark crystal token, and you can win up to 6 mine, which right now mine is 650.
Oh, nice.
Well, it's almost 660, but I was just rounding. But yeah, so that's almost $50, probably a little bit more. So you never know, you might win. You also are going to be supporting the health of the protocol.
Yeah. And we have let me see what's up to the chat really quick. Too much. Hey, what's going on, buddy? Thank you for showing up. Hung like a tortoise. Welcome. Let's go, baby. Thank you for showing up. appreciate it. We're here with Dark Crystal Finance, and I'm learning actually because this project is new to me. And it's very, very interesting. They launched in June, correct, Dex?
Yes, we did.
June. And then you got your vault section, Magic and Yield Wolf.
Indeed. I personally like the Magic ones, but they don't have every type of our LP in there. The Yield Wolf one does, so that's kind of cool. The new stablecoin LPs, what we added after, and so then we never decided if we wanted to add them to the Magic one.
And the vaults look really clean too.
Yeah,
they look really nice. Click out of here, well, and then what else you got? You got your dogs. Is the are you guys? Did you get audited? Are you going? Is that something in the future you're going to do, or is it something that's already happened?
So I don't think we've been fully audited at all, but we are, like, because we're directly forked. You can compare the contracts to the grape code that we forked from.
Oh, okay.
Or also, once the UI overhaul gets through, that might be not a bad idea too, just to make sure things get double checked when there's updates.
Nice. And so you're not only on Chronos, you're on Aurora. I'm not too familiar with Aurora. I'm more of a. I talk a lot about Chronos on my channel.
Yeah. So Aurora is actually where the team was a little bit more familiar with how things work, just because it's based on F. It's kind of what F is planning on doing when they do the merge. Very much is copying what Aurora did with like sharding and stuff. We launched on that way too fast, and it's something that we acknowledge as a mistake. We just kind of a team took for granted how much you need social infrastructure laid beforehand. You need friends in this. You need to work with people. Can't just like show up and be like, "Hey guys, look at me."
Yeah, and that's why I like Chronos so much, is because the projects in there that I have had to and talk on the with on my channel, the collaboration and everybody working together in the communities are all working together. They don't mind working with another community. It's just great how everybody in the Chronos blockchain, how that feels.
Yeah. We are currently working on coming back for what happened on Aurora. We made some changes. We launched the initial nodes now. We do need to update. There's an issue with the way that the TWAP is getting calculated for some reason. So some updates are coming there.
Cool.
We have some other cross-chain ideas, like Annex. I just saw they announced they're going over to Kava, and that was something my boss talked about with me before we went to Aurora. And so that might be something we might do. You never know. And also, we had been talking about Polygon a little bit before MMF decided to do that. I was like, oh, well, it might be a good idea because we know them.
Oh, nice. So, Polygon would be cool too.
Yeah. So we got a lot cooking. That's half the problem. Is that I got so many ideas, it's hard to write them all down.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, you got a lot on your plate right now.
Well, I mean, I'm really thankful for, like I said, I got really lucky with my community, right? Like, I found Kuka, we hired him, he works with me, and then he told me, well, we can probably, with how our community is, we can make a team of staffers, and we did. And so, like, now there's, like, this flow of information and relay, like, it's not as bad as it was. And once you settle in a routine and you're consistent, it gets easier.
Yeah. So I seen the raffle. That's cool. That's an awesome way of getting the community together. Keep them interested. I haven't jumped in your Discord yet. Do you do anything in the Discord as far as, well, how do you keep the Discord community engaged? What's your guys' plan for that?
Oh, I send memes sometimes.
Oh, perfect. That'll work. Honestly,
though, like, more people know to jump into the Telegram, and I do have Discord up all the time too, but I don't know. I'm not. Everybody wants you in their Discord server. Yeah, It's so hard to keep up with every server. So like, and then I don't know how much people are gonna want to do the same thing for mine until we stand out further.
Yeah. So we have a question from Too Much in the chat. He says, Chaka, where on Chronos can you find Dark Crystal?
So you actually got to import it. That's where I was talking about the different LPs.
Mm-hmm.
We are whitelisted on Annex. There's going to be some price impact until that will go better. But we generally use MMF because that's where most of our LPs are made. But that site likes to be laggy, especially lately with the DDoS issues.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got Mama Sita in the chat. Thank you. That's my beautiful wife right there. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate the support. She likes to stop by.
Nice. Does she like money?
She does. She likes when I make money to spend it. She's awesome.
She missed the casino part, so you're safe.
Oh yeah, she missed the casino part. Hey, so what got you into crypto? How did you come, what'd you start off with?
So I was always doing like stock stuff and bad ideas and options.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always on top of the markets and doing that stuff, and I had friends that did crypto, and then all of a sudden one of my friends was like telling me about VVS and how great it was, before it died. And I was like, dude, I've seen multiple of this bullshit because I traded Dogecoin when it was like under a half a cent.
Oh,
like multiple times. We scalped it because like the technicals don't make any sense and it just doesn't make sense. Like in our investment group. So we're just like, no. Well, then when she was telling me about this, I was like, no, I'm gonna start doing this. I make too much money and I waste it on scratch offs. I might as well do this too.
Yeah. So I started off I started off with ETH was my first investment into crypto, and I tried to stick with blue chips, but I've been rug trying to jump into newer projects that I thought were great. My first rug ever was Suzuki Inu. Got me. Have you ever experienced that since you've been in crypto?
Like a full rug?
Like a full on, because I know everything I got, it was gone, so there's nothing now. So
I mean, the most like, yeah, I mean, kind of, not like fully deceived, but like, I was involved in the DNA RNA tune fork that was like way back old school crypto, like on crypto CDC.
Yeah,
and that did not go well. If anybody else remembers that was not a fun experience to anybody that had RNA cash.
Oh yes.
I
wasn't part of that, but I heard about it. Yes.
I made enough to buy like 2 Meerkat NFTs in one night, and then the next day it was all gone.
Oh my god.
Like it was so dumb.
That's the worst.
And when you're new to it, you're like, so what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, see, I when Suzuki got me, I was all about it. I'm like, let's go. And then I went. It was like close to Thanksgiving, and I'm even showing my grandma, look at this. I'm trying to teach her about it. And then it was either that night or the next day. It was gone. I was like, oops.
You're like, the bullet there.
sorry, grandma.
Well, that's how I felt about when I got told about VBS, and I was all excited and was telling some people. I'm glad they didn't listen to me.
Yeah. So I see on your Twitter it's saying linking NFTs. What are you guys doing with NFTs?
So originally our plan with our NFTs is going to be a very small collection. We have they were going to have some standardized normal staking where you earn some stable coins if you stake the NFT, and then they were going to have just a flat 10% profit share from the node pools.
Okay.
And that kind of limits the size of the node, the amount of NFTs you could do. Well, then I had an NFT idea, a game idea that we could do that would allow us to make that more robust. So now we can do a slightly larger collection and make a mini game that forces users to kind of buy and sell and trade and craft to make things to power up your warlock instead of it just being a straight 10% off the bat.
Oh, so it's going to be a warlock to a themed NFT?
Yeah, because we're magical.
Oh, perfect, awesome. And who's your guys' artist for that? Is he putting his name out there, or is it something that'll happen in the future?
Yeah, he has a pretty big name actually. He's one of my close friends. His name is Drudgernaut.
Oh, nice, cool.
He's from the Meerkats. He did the DJ and Brain Finance art and a few other places you might not know.
I know the Meerkats.
Yeah.
And we have Too Much saying, how does Dark Crystal compare or compete with MM Finance or VVS Finance, just to name a few?
Well, we're not a DEX, so we're not really competing. And we're more about working with each other to grow at the same time, kind of. And we're kind of focusing on creating an ecosystem that provides everything you might need in order to play the games that we plan to develop.
Nice. Is there any more you can share about the game? Do you guys have any idea yet? I know it's in the future. The games always take a while, but do you guys have like what type of game it's going to be in mind?
Because of our partnership being not super announced with the lab yet, I don't know how much I can talk about the details.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. I always try to ask a little bit of alpha.
Yeah. Well, I know, and the problem with that is it's all my ideas, so I'm excited about it, so I can't just tell you a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm excited just because of how Gooding really liked the idea, and everybody that I pitch it to seems to really like it. I think the mini game idea will be cool for people, just because I think people will like. They liked Chow Time. It's like Chow Time maybe on steroids.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Chow Time was fun. I was I'm an investor in Boom Squad NFT, so
yeah, that was the idea that I got every I don't know, probably 5 people that would tell me ideas, would tell me I should do something like that, and I was like, I was busy at that time. I don't even know how that worked.
it was great. It was actually and it went really well. Well.
And it really, after I started to understand what they did, then some other aspects of what I was planning on doing with the NFTs for the bigger game part made me think, well, why can't I just do that here too?
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's a bigger game that is going to take longer. Like I said, that's the one that we're working with a partner with. That they're thinking that it's probably a good idea to work with us, and because we actually had very similar complementary ideas. So.
That's awesome. That's exciting. I wish I would have known about this project sooner, but it still is really early in this project. I'm glad that you came on here and shared and educated myself a little bit on this project and the community. It's pretty cool.
Well, I was happy how fast you were willing to have us on here and talk about stuff, because that's my boss is always on me about, you should find somebody to talk to on YouTube again.
Yeah,
I don't know who.
Yeah, no worries, man. I love doing this. I love bringing projects on, especially projects that I haven't that I don't know about, and just learning about it, sharing it with the community. Especially good projects that are interesting projects. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's always good. So I hope your audience was not bored. I hope if there's any questions that they have that I can help with.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I have any more questions in the chat as of yet, but is there anything else that you'd like to share? Anything that you haven't touched on what I do every time I'm either on a Twitter space and I'm talking about something, every time I jump off, I'm like, shh, I should have talked about this and I forgot.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah, so I always come back.
Or like when it'll be like there's 2 or 3 places I want to do AMAs right now, and then they're like, "Can you come up with a question list?" And I was like, "Bro." But I don't know. Everybody tries to say, "Well, we're not the same as that other tune," and I don't know. I like to let our stuff kind of speak for itself. I know that your community is over half of what makes your tune work. If your tune does work. You can add a lot of these mechanisms and use cases and do all this, and you can hope it works. But at the end of the day, it matters if your people know what's happening and what they need to be doing to work together so that everybody can profit.
Oh, yeah, that's transparency is huge in the community. And the community, you're right, it's more than 50%. It's way more than half.
Yeah, because if as soon as you get above peg, you have some 2, 3 people that dump it, and you have a problem again. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, I really appreciate it. I know you're busy, man. You've already said like you've got all kinds of stuff going on. I don't want to keep you too long.
Oh no, you're good. Like I said, I was forced to take 2 days off, so this is just I'm taking time off my vacation at the moment.
Oh yeah,
It's not
that's
a big
awesome.
deal. I didn't do nothing else today. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to have like if you anytime in the future, when things change, you guys are always progressing. You're always welcome to come back. I'd like to have more people from the team, maybe Kuka jump on also, or whoever you can bring along that's part of the team. They're always welcome to jump on here and share the project. These are always a lot easier too. The more people you have, it's great. Everybody has their own input on the project.
Yeah, then I'm not trying to figure out what I need to say to cover everything up.
Oh no, no worries, man. That's great.
Yeah, I'm sure that we could do that. Kuka's always down for doing spaces and stuff. And
Cool.
I'm
Yeah.
usually around, so thanks guys for having me. I'll make sure that we share this and get it out to our friends and stuff. So.
Awesome. I appreciate you joining. And anytime in the future, just hit me up, and then we'll set it up.
Absolutely. I'm gonna see. Maybe I could have you do like a review of our token on for use in the casino once it's back up.
Yeah, hit me up. Well, yeah, we'll talk about it.
All right. Later.
Cool. See you later, everybody in the chat. Thank you. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way out. Kind of puts the video up in the algorithm, get more eyes on this project. So if you're here, thank you. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys all have a great Monday. Thank you for jumping in and listening. You guys all have a good one.